Coach CJ, Coach Andy, Coach Harrison, all black belts. We got together. We haven't seen each other in years. We used to train back at Raw. What's up, Raw? One of the best training facilities ever. And we got to rolling, and it was really like magical because we all know where we're at. We're midlife, so we're not here to hurt each other. We're going for it, but it's like a flow. I want to talk about rolling in your midlife. You know, when did you feel, Coach, it changed for you as far as rolling? And I know you've been around, you competed. Just tell them about yourself.
I would just say for myself at 40, my last professional MMA fight was in China. I was 40 years old. And I remember right after that fight, I felt great, but I could feel like when I started training again after the fight, the injuries would linger. So injuries I had in my 30s, my 20s, my knees, my shoulders. So what I realized actually was at 40, I remember distinctly, I had to be more intentional in my rolling, my training. It couldn't always be full out sparring. It had to be positional. Sometimes it's working from bad positions, good positions, but less intensity, more quality.
And Harrison, you're the oldest out of them. He's 50, you're 55. What was the change for you? Because I remember you back in Wiry, you're still in great shape, you still move well, but what age was about to change for you in your midlife and your rolling approach?
I mean, I feel like I've been injured throughout my entire jiu-jitsu career. So, but I think finally when I turned 45, I started to realize my body can't handle that kind of abuse. So, you know, you just have to learn to stretch, learn to, you know, strength train, you know, your joints, and you know, listen to your body. You know, I mean, I still try to train, you know, 4 or 5 days a week, but I still listen to my body. So some days could be, you know, harder, but you know, some days are just really light flow, and some days are just technique. So
this might be a tough question for both of you guys, but saying no to certain sparring partners, saying no to a roll, how does it feel now as opposed to saying it how we felt when we said it when we were 25 to 35?
I'll say that. I mean, that's one of the most important things I've learned is you can't roll and spar with everyone every day. You know, there's a part of us as competitors, right? As martial artists, we're like, okay, here's a young gun. I want to go hard with them. No problem. I don't want to say no to anybody. And while that's a good attitude to have, you don't always need to do it in the gym. My point being, you don't want to leave your best rolls, your best competition matches in the gym, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never say no, but when there's training partners that are difficult or I feel could be more dangerous than others where there's a high chance of getting hurt, you know, I try to use that as a learning experience to, you know, try to control the match and try to control what the other guy's doing and, you know, stay out of trouble and not try anything crazy, but also, you know, try to, you know, push forward, but, you know that there's dangerous aspects that you need to look out for and just train around that. And, you know, but I feel like it's a good mental exercise, even though you could be putting yourself in some extra danger, but I think as long as you know the risk and you know that guy's game, you know, and these are